I'm with Susan Hallam from Hallam Internet, and Sue has been talking to us at LincUpLive about marketing for businesses big and small. Sue, it's one of those things where people in social media talk about the touchy-feely side, but there is a show me the money angle to this as well, isn't there?
Absolutely. I think a lot of businesses need to be using social media in order to get their return on investment. So what we need to do is to set some benchmarks, understand what it is that they're trying to achieve. What we need to do is start by identifying the goals that the business wants, whether it be generating leads, getting newsletter inquiries. And once we have these goals identified, then we can figure out the right social strategy to deliver against the business objectives.
Do you think there's a particular type of network that is more suitable for particular types of business?
I think it's worthwhile investigating each of the networks to find out what's going to best suit your target market. I think there's a cliche that LinkedIn is good for business, and clearly it is. It's a business-to-business network, and each of the networks have their relative merits. We need to keep in mind who's your target market, which tool are they going to use.
That kind of brings me on to testing and measurement. Now, I've worked with a few companies, and you can spend half your day trying to measure what you're doing, who's retweeting, who's liking you on Facebook. So where do you draw the line if you're a small business?
During the presentation, I gave access to a spreadsheet that allows you to very simply and quickly collect these key measures. And the measures tend to fall into three broad areas. The first measure is how many people are talking to you, how many people are conversing with you. And as you suggested, that could be comments back and forth. Secondly, how many people are then giving you positive feedback in the form of applause. And finally, what we want to be thinking about is how many people are then sharing your content out. It's a simple spreadsheet, few columns, fill it in, and you'll get a picture of what that data is going to tell you.
Okay, so the measurement, yeah, I've got that. Now, what about the essential kind of sign-ups to newsletters and sales? How do you sort of trail the breadcrumbs back through social media to see the start of those conversations? How does that work?
Absolutely essential. And what you're talking about are the goals that the business has, whether it be signing up for a newsletter, generating an inquiry. It might even be downloading a PDF. So from a business, it might be I have fact sheets or technical specifications. Google Analytics, which is a free tool, allows us to keep track. Where did the visitor come from? Did she come from Twitter? Did she come from Facebook? And did she then go on to make the inquiry?
Okay. If you had to give just one tip for a small business, okay, bear with me. Small business, let's say, guy's got £500 to spend on social media marketing. What's the best way to spend it?
I'd have to rephrase the question, because what you're assuming is that social media is the answer. I think what we need to think about is what are you trying to achieve with your communications and figure out whether social media is the best channel. If indeed it is, then what we need to do is perhaps look at best practice to decide what kind of options are available to you. Small businesses are not the first people to be using social media. There's lots of good practice out there. So look and learn from what other companies are doing.
Okay, Sue, good advice. Thank you very much indeed. See you soon.